The world stopped for a moment just 14 minutes ago when Kim Seokjin, better known as BTS's Jin, addressed millions of fans with a voice that was not only soft but visibly shaking. His words were few, but they carried a weight that left ARMY speechless and many in tears. What could push the group's oldest member, known for his composure and calmness, to the point where his voice quivered? And what did he mean when he looked directly into the camera and said, "This is something I cannot stay silent about anymore"? This shocking moment unfolded unexpectedly, turning what was meant to be a lighthearted live stream into one of the most emotionally charged moments BTS has had this year. Fans across the globe reported chills the moment Jin appeared, sitting alone in a dimly lit space with no music, no laughter, and no distraction. His serious expression immediately set the tone. Something was wrong, and he was ready to talk about it. Observers quickly noticed that Jin seemed unusually tense. His fingers were clasped tightly together, his gaze fixed, as if he were trying to find the right words before saying them out loud. When he finally spoke, his voice cracked slightly, an extremely rare occurrence for someone so well-trained in public speaking. He began by thanking ARMY for their unwavering support, but then he shifted the conversation to something far more personal. His statement was not rehearsed, not polished, and that made it even more powerful. According to fans who were watching live, Jin mentioned a situation that's been affecting not only him but also another member, leading many to suspect he was referring to Jungkook. The room fell silent, metaphorically speaking, as millions of viewers tried to decipher his tone. Was he giving a warning? Was he asking for protection? Or was this an indirect way of expressing his fear about something larger? Jin did not provide explicit details, which only fueled speculation. Instead, he spoke carefully about the emotional toll this situation had taken on him. "It's hard to sleep," he admitted. "It's hard to stay calm when I think about it. I know ARMY deserves to know, but I also must be careful." This statement immediately sent the fandom into a frenzy, with trending topics exploding across social media in real time. The most haunting part of Jin's message came toward the end, when his voice shook again and he added, "Please, keep your eyes open. This is not just about me." Those words were enough to make thousands of ARMYs break down, with many expressing concern that something might be threatening BTS's youngest member, Jungkook. The speculation quickly shifted from what Jin was feeling to what Jungkook might be going through behind the scenes. Fans have not forgotten that Jungkook has been unusually quiet in recent weeks, skipping several expected appearances and keeping a low profile. This sudden message from Jin only deepened the sense that something serious is happening. The timing is also striking, just days after rumors began circulating about increased security around BTS's schedules. Could this be connected? The atmosphere among ARMY is one of mixed emotions. Pride that Jin had the courage to speak up, but fear of what it might mean. Many are sharing theories, pointing out that Jin has historically been the most protective member when it comes to the younger ones, particularly Jungkook. When he chooses to break silence in such a public way, it signals that the situation may be more intense than anyone realized. There is also the question of whether this was a calculated move or a spontaneous emotional outburst. Some analysts believe that Jin deliberately chose to go live at that exact time to ensure maximum visibility, using the urgency of the moment to bring attention to something that might otherwise be ignored. Others argue that his demeanor seemed too raw and unplanned for it to be strategic. The truth remains uncertain, which only adds to the gravity of the event. As the live stream ended, Jin simply bowed his head and thanked fans one last time before disconnecting. No music played, no staff member appeared on screen, and no follow-up statement was released. The abrupt ending left fans with more questions than answers, creating a sense of unease that continues to ripple through the fandom hours later. This moment will likely go down as one of the most significant emotional addresses Jin has ever made. It was not an announcement of a new project, Not a promotion, not a light interaction. This was a call to attention. A warning, perhaps. The intensity of his gaze when he said, "Please watch carefully," is being replayed thousands of times as ARMY tries to decode every possible meaning behind it. What makes this situation even more complex is that Jin rarely allows his emotions to show so openly in public. He has always carried himself as the group's steady older brother, someone who reassures fans when things are uncertain. For him to display vulnerability this way suggests that the matter at hand is not minor. The emotional resonance of that moment has united the fandom in collective worry and determination. Many fans are now asking themselves difficult questions. Should they be worried about Jungkook's safety? Should they take this as a sign that something bigger is about to be revealed? Or is this Jin's way of preparing ARMY for an announcement that will change the course of BTS's activities in the near future? Until more information surfaces, one thing is certain. Jin's trembling voice has created a moment that no one will forget. The raw emotion, the unanswered questions, and the palpable sense of urgency have made this more than just a message. It has become a global event. For now, ARMY is left with a single, haunting question. What did Jin want the world to see so urgently, and why did he choose this exact moment to speak? The aftermath of Jin's trembling message continues to dominate online spaces, but it raises an important question that must be asked. Are we witnessing a genuine emotional confession, or have we become participants in a media-driven spectacle designed to evoke our emotions? This moment is undeniably powerful, but its meaning remains open to interpretation. As millions of ARMYs replay the live stream and analyze every pause, every glance, and every tremor in Jin's voice, we must ask ourselves, are we uncovering the truth? Or are we constructing a narrative that suits our fears and expectations? The reactions across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube have been explosive, with countless clips and breakdowns surfacing within minutes. Yet, how many of these interpretations are based on verifiable facts? Could some of them be amplifying fear rather than clarifying reality? It is tempting to accept the most dramatic explanation, but should we not pause and consider whether our emotional response is being shaped by the rapid spread of speculation? Fans have been sharing theories that range from personal struggles within the group to external threats that may have forced Jin to speak out. But is there evidence to support these claims? Or are we filling in the gaps with our own imagination? The absence of concrete detail from Jin's side makes it difficult to draw definitive conclusions. Should this uncertainty lead us to trust our instincts? Or should it make us even more cautious about believing what we think we saw? This is where critical reflection becomes essential. When an event like this unfolds in real time, the emotional impact can override rational judgment. Are we processing Jin's words as he intended, or are we interpreting them through the lens of our own expectations about BTS, Jungkook, and the pressures they face? It is worth asking whether the overwhelming emotional reaction is evidence of genuine urgency or simply a testament to how deeply fans care for the members. Moreover, we cannot ignore the possibility that the framing of this moment